Hello, my name is Sigurbjörn Arnar Jónsson. I am a student of Value Chain Management in VIA University College in Horsens, Denmark. And this short video I'm making is called Bringing a New Energy Concept to an Energy Surplus Country. Can windmills work in Iceland? Up until recently, people associated Iceland with mostly two things. First, the near bankruptcy that we experienced in late 2008, and then of course the infamous volcanic eruption that happened in May of 2010. Until around the middle of the 70s, most people in Iceland relied on either oil or to some extent coal for their energy use, but with the implementation of both hydro and geothermal energy, we were able to remove ourselves from that energy source. That gave us plenty of very cheap energy, especially on a European scale, which allowed us to have some luxury features such as to be able to sleep with the lights on and to decorate homes very nicely for Christmas. Energy prices have gone up a little bit in Iceland in the recent years, but not so much that we have to worry about it yet. But that doesn't mean that we should not rule out other potential energy sources, and in this case windmills. We're not talking about bringing in windmills in that size to put in fields. It's more about bringing in windmills for the single homeowner. This map shows the geothermal activity areas in Iceland. The most of the nation lives in the southwest area, where you have a huge access to the melting pots below ground. But why not bringing in windmills as well to the already established energy grid? Icelanders know about windmills. We travel a lot to Europe and Denmark, and many people have an education in Denmark, whether specializing in engineering or very often focusing on windmills, so the concept is known, not just established. When I say single homes, I'm talking about maybe attaching them outside on a typical house like this. This is a 3-story house, and of course it could be attached to either one of the walls, it could be attached on the rooftop or in the backyard, which might be the least feasible option. When it comes to design of a windmill, I would say that this would be probably the best one, because it can harness winds from all directions, not just north-south or east-west, but all directions. Icelandic winds can be unpredictable, and that can be a benefit with this design. Of course, you have also traditional designs. I personally would remove this particular turbine, but leave the pole as it is, and then attach the windmill from the wind turbine from the previous slide on top of this one. Then you would not be affected by the nearby rooftops, and you would still be able to harness the winds from all the directions. Of course, Icelanders are a very technically oriented nation, so people would not have to be explained about the concept of windmills. But you will also have to be careful in not leading people in a certain way in a market survey, because people live in different areas in Iceland. This is a typical fjord or bay in either the northwest or the east of Iceland, where you have a town landlocked from 3 directions, and you only have winds blowing in freely from one direction. But the majority of the people live in the southwest corner, and as you can see in this photo, there are almost no natural barriers to stop the wind, and this is also a very windy area of Iceland, so you would have virtually a constant stream of wind, which would then be harnessed in the wind turbines. Of course, we're not talking about bringing in windmills and replacing geothermal energy plants, not at all. It's a matter of adding them to the already well-established energy grid, and then the energy companies could sell the possible free energy that will be freed up to large companies. You also have to look at the market development strategy or a product development strategy. The market development strategy would of course have to be looked upon that you are bringing in a completely new product to a completely new country. But then of course with the product development strategy, you may have to look upon having an open innovation, because you don't necessarily have to create a completely new windmill. You may have to just take an already established type and then make some formations to either the design of the blades or the strength of the structure of it, you could say. Both of these models have their pros and cons. You could say that one is making up for what the other one is lacking. So they provide the necessary theoretical background for the implementation of windmills for home use in Iceland. If you're able to free up some energy from the energy grid, then you can sell that energy to high-paying consumers like the one here on the right, which is an aluminum company which is having difficulties getting sufficient energy to start up their establishment in Iceland. That would of course lead to hundreds of new jobs. The company is actually located in the circle to the left, and the circle to the right shows the Westman Islands, which have the strongest wind currents in the nation. So if test sites there are successful, then the implementation in the entire country will be successful. Because it's a matter of showing people the economic value. If people can lower their own energy bill and then bring in some energy for the energy companies already established to sell to high-paying consumers, and then by creating jobs, then the successful implementation of windmills in Iceland should not be a problem at all. Thank you.